Today, we're diving into an absolutely elite blueprint for property management. We are talking about how to graduate from just reactive commodity hosting to proactive asset governance. Because as a luxury operator, your ultimate goal here is engineering a completely frictionless cash machine.
So let me hit you with a hard question right out of the gate. Honestly, managing a multi-million-dollar property shouldn't feel like a frantic 24/7 customer service trap. If you're managing a high-value estate with the logistics of a budget motel, you're just devaluing the real estate and completely draining your personal time. If you're constantly running around putting out fires, you aren't really managing an asset, are you? You're just babysitting a building.
And here's why. What you are battling every single day is physical entropy. This is the invisible margin bleed where traditional short-term properties lose substantial profit. It happens when the intersection of digital perfection and messy physical reality just breaks down. And largely, it's because operators assign these flat, static house cleaning windows that totally ignore a guest's real-time travel profile.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the invisible margin bleed, algorithmic turn synchronization, geofence departure triggers, real-time micro-milestones, erasing contractor latency, and finally, absolute logistical leverage. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The invisible margin bleed.
You know, you have to know exactly what you're fighting before you can build the systems to defeat it, right? Flat, static house cleaning windows and traditional manual handoffs are literally silently bleeding your margins. You're dealing with tactile ambiguity where environmental factors break your smart tech, or maybe a subjective olfactory index where clean visuals clash with a clinical bleach-like smell that guests instinctively flag. You absolutely cannot rely on reactive maintenance or wait for a guest complaint to uncover a problem. Those legacy methods just can't keep up with luxury operations.
Moving right along to Section 2, algorithmic turn synchronization. So how do we actually engineer a bulletproof solution? Well, instead of relying on those static windows that ignore when a guest actually checks out, true asset governance requires what we call a logistical dynamic timeline matrix. Basically, you're configuring automated dispatch pipelines that dynamically adjust your housekeeping timelines based purely on live geofenced data streams.
Which brings us to Section 3, geofenced departure triggers. This is absolutely critical. Our core objective here is building an automated API pipeline to completely connect your smart lock networks to your automated cleaner dispatches. The literal second a guest leaves, whether they complete a digital departure sequence or validate it via phone proximity loop, your smart locks interface directly with your central servers. Then your PMS instantly routes an optimized checklist straight to your specialized field vendors. Boom, zero wasted hours.
Section 4, real-time micro-milestones.
Think about it. A standard turnover with manual texts and basic visual checks is chaotic. But an algorithmic turnover, it is a science. You've got to break down property prep into discrete, timed digital intervals that are tracked directly inside your software's operations dashboard. Maybe you're cross-referencing with 3D Matterport scans or tracking it all via an iPad. Logging these real-time micro-milestones entirely removes ambiguity from the process.
And doing this prevents what we call micro-inventory entrapment. You definitely don't want to lose crucial operational hours tracking down a misplaced $300 designer floor lamp. By having housekeepers log milestones on a per-room basis, like checking if linens are stripped, verifying marble is sealed, and photo-verifying the final asset manifest, it guarantees absolute certainty before the next guest ever walks in.
All right, Section 5, erasing contractor latency.
Because let's be real, a perfectly pristine house means absolutely nothing if the underlying systems fail. You need to erase contractor latency by utilizing predictive data and tracking equipment health trajectories to remove human tracking entirely. By taking advantage of things like IoT thermal and vibration sensors, you can track degradation and detect even a half-degree temperature creep over months. This lets you generate automated repair tickets during vacancy windows. Basically, by erasing contractor latency, you protect your net operating profit lines. You allow for predictable early check-in monetization, and you significantly extend the structural life cycle of your fine finishes through rigorous oversight synchronization. It's a total game changer.
And finally, Section 6, absolute logistical leverage.
Here is the massive payoff. By replacing human tracking with proactive checklists and smart governance, you can drastically reduce emergency calls by a whopping 40%. You are essentially fireproofing the business rather than just waiting to use a fire extinguisher.
And ultimately,
Pushing these standardized efficiencies pushes your net operating income an incredible 18 to 25% higher than market averages. You're maximizing profit through absolute logistical leverage. However, we really need to ground ourselves with a simple, kind of funny reminder. The physical world is completely unpredictable. We call it the squirrel paradox, because no matter what, software alone cannot fix physical reality.
As the quote perfectly puts it, you can API call a lock, but you cannot API call a squirrel stuffing walnuts into your vent, right? I mean, you can have the most flawless cloud dashboard in the world, but you still cannot API call the messy reality of the physical world. That is exactly why this level of automated, rigorous oversight, synchronization is absolutely mandatory.
So, as you audit your own operations this week, ask yourself a tough question. Are you running an optimized asset, or are you just a hostage waiting for a doorframe to swell? Are you engineering absolute logistical leverage? It's time to start automating your timelines, syncing those smart locks, and maximizing that profit. Think about it, and let's get to work.